Hi there. In at Electronics for repair this morning is a Kemper Profile Stage guitar pedal. These are very good pedals. This one is used by the guitarist at my church, and he's a very good guitarist as well, may I say. Anyway, he was complaining that a few of the switches weren't working properly, and all the switches are extremely noisy. I think they are noisy on this. I'm going to look into that. But basically, these switches are very much like something on a line 6. Underneath this isn't one of these nice beefy switches that you get in boutique pedals. This is actually very similar to what they have on a line 6 stomp pedals and things. Underneath this there is a spring, and underneath that is, would you believe it, a surface mounted switch. So yeah, for a pedal costing this much, that seems to be a bit flimsy really. Anyway, he's complaining that this switch doesn't work always, it's intermittent, so I'm going to be replacing this switch. I'm also going to be replacing this switch, which he said is intermittent, and maybe this one as well, just because these two would be probably the switches that he would use the most, so replace those. But I have tested this, and I can confirm that this is intermittent. This one doesn't really fail so far, but seeing as he's had it fail, I'll replace that. And this one doesn't fail at all, but I'm going to replace this as well while it's open. There is a PCB which goes the entire length here, and so this is the easiest board to work on if any of these have actually gone. These, however, are on the main circuit board here, the main panel board, so I've got to take everything off in order to get to it. So anyway, I'll just switch the camera off now, and I'll bring you apart with it all open. If I shut it down, let me show you the screws you need to take out to open it up. I've already taken them out there. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver or posi drive screwdriver, and you will need a Torx screwdriver as well. There we go. Just right, there we are. You have the feet you need to take out, the 4 feet, and then you have these screws here. In the back you have to take out these 2 screws here, the earth screw, which is a silvered screw, these 2 for the AC inlet socket. You have one here, and one here. Just a word of warning, they're extremely difficult to take out. Very, very tight screws, so you probably will need something like a socket set with a Torx 10 screwdriver. Now, I used my good one here that I use for my CD players, and it has a sort of a nut here that I can put a spanner on to help it. This is what I got these off with, but they are very, very tight. Even these screws, this screw here I found to be extremely tight, almost like it was glued in, but I got it out without any problem, without rounding it off or anything. So anyway, once you've got all these screws out, then carefully lift this up, because there's a lot of connectors well, not a lot, sorry, there's 2 connectors connected to the bottom main board here, so you'll need to carefully remove them before you can separate the top panel there from the bottom. Anyway, keep watching. I'll break the video now. I'll stop it because I need to both hands, and I'll come back to you in 1 sec. Okay, we're back. I've got the top panel off. As you can see, there is a connector cable here. Also this one here going to the main board. As you can see, this main board is pretty densely populated with surface mounted devices. It's not impossible to repair. This sort of chip I can't currently replace, obviously ones on this card as well I can't either. You have a switch mode power supply here, but it seems to be quite nicely laid out, good quality. Now this is the strip I was talking about here, with the foot switches at the front. You can see here. If you look on the side here, you can see what I was talking about. You have a spring there which actuates the switch. So obviously I'm going to have to remove all of these screws. They look like Torx as well, probably T10. And then I'm going to have to remove this. In fact, I'm just going to have to remove this large panel board here, because the switches that are actually gone are ones along this edge here. Well, a few of them. So anyway, I'll come back to you in a sec once I get these boards out and have a proper look at the board. Hi there, welcome back. I've now taken the panel board off. Obviously you have to remove all the pots. Also there is a board which is plugged in over here, which has got two switches on, which plugs into the main board. You need to pull that out as well. It looks as though there's some sort of SD card in here. Plugs into the outside there. So lining up with this first and second up and down switch here, and the second one, so it's the first, second and fourth switches that need to be replaced. All these ones in the bottom here are encompassed on this long board. You can see the springs now poking out for each of these buttons, along with these two at the top there. You need to be careful how you take these connectors out, because you can do a lot of damage if you don't take out these sort of connectors. Flat connectors are notoriously difficult. Now I've got this apart, I'm going to clean this display because there seems to be some dust on the inside, so I'm going to clean this off properly. Also, while this is out, I'm going to clean this top panel as well, because it's difficult to get to once all the knobs are on and everything's poking through. So there we go. I'm going to replace this switch I've marked. This switch I've marked, if you can see that cross. This is okay, and this switch here. They're all surface mounted. I've got a few switches in, so yep, I'll be doing that now, and I'll get back to you when I've done it. Hi there, I'm back. As you can see, I've removed 1, 2 and 4, and they're here. These are the replacement switches. They seem to have a black top rather than a white. In fact, I think these colors denote something. If they're red, they're less operations. I think 100,000 operations they're guaranteed for. The white ones I think are 200,000. I think the black ones are the strongest ones, so these should last longer, this replacement. And they come in this pack here. They're quite expensive really for what they are, but I couldn't actually find these. I'm going to see if I can find some so that I can obviously use them when I get other of these pedals in. Anyway, this is what I use here. I use some flux. You have to flux the pins before you take it off, flux them. Also put some solder on. You probably won't be able to get hold of this. This is Solder Best. This is from Brazil. See, it's Peso Liquido, 500 grams. I think it's Liquido. Anyway, so that's that. I'm just using a normal soldering iron with a fine tip. So you have to be very careful when you're taking these off, because obviously you can lift a fine pad off like this if you are not good at soldering really. And obviously if you lift the pad off, because there are 3 through holes there, if you can see that, 3 holes, you know, you can destroy the board really, so you need to be careful. Anyway, Delatronics can do this. It's not going to cost the customer much money at all for this. He's supplied all the switches. He's got 4 spares there. So yeah, if you got one of these, I can do the whole process for you, no problem. Just to let you know as well, I'm actually working from my flat at the moment because I'm setting up, but I'm actually going to be getting a premises soon. So I'm going to be authorised by a couple of major manufacturers soon. I'm going after other ones as well, so there we go. Maybe even Kemper, whoever the importer is of that. Maybe I will get Pioneer as well, maybe do a few bits of DJ stuff as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll bring you one last part here. If you just hang on a second, I'll bring you the last part of it all working so you can see. Thanks for watching. Hi there, all done. Moment of truth. Switch it on. So it's a little while to power up. You need to be really careful with these because there are connectors on here which can easily be damaged. I'm going to clean this a little bit more as well. I've cleaned the LCD, most of the rubbish off the LCD, so it looks better now. Here we are. Here we are. They're all working, and this is the one. Perfect. And this one. Perfect. So it's all working perfectly now. I can ring the customer and tell him he can pick it up. This was done in less than 24 hours because I'm not that busy at the moment. But anyway, if you got one of these, you want it repaired, I can do it for you much quicker than Kemper rather, who asks you to send the pedal to them. Obviously a much greater cost, the repair, and also they take apparently 3 months with it. So if you're in a hurry, you want your Kemper pedal sorted out proficiently, get in touch with delatronics.com. Thank you for watching.